After making lots of videos on guides about COD Mobile, I'll be honest, I'm kinda running out of tips here. So I went ahead and tried to learn from you, the viewers. If the tips that I'm gonna get from you guys will be just like these, we're gonna have a good time. Today I went over the comments from past videos where I asked for tips and chose the ones that I think are the most useful for you. For the first tip from Cyphus, he tells us, don't sprint too much. It is a pretty common mistake among most players, but walking is better when it comes to sniping, whether you're an aggressive or passive player. Like all guns, snipers and marksman rifles have sprint to fire delay, but it's more important with these because of the slower scope in time. Sprint to fire delay is the animation that happens before your actual scope in animation. So, walking will be better for faster reaction time versus enemies whenever you're using a sniper rifle. This is also applicable for long-range weapons like capable assault rifles and LMGs. This second tip from Drei tells us that if you can't align your crosshair like the best snipers do, is to put either your settings, sprint, weapon inspection, emotes, or run button on the center of your screen. You only need to do this if you need a better sense of where the center of your screen is, whether you're ADS'd or not, so you know exactly where you're aiming at. I personally used the run button as my custom crosshair way back, and now I'm fine without it. However, from time to time, I like using my custom crosshairs that's available with the phone I use right now, which is a huge plus if you're trying to master centering in the game. Carmelo called this cock cancelling for cock animation in sniper rifles according to Oxygen, but let's call it bolt action. In order to cancel the bolt action animation, Carmelo's tip is to make our DLQ fire faster by using manual scope with the tap to ADS setting. Tap on the ADS button, and when fully scoped in, tap the fire button immediately and tap the ADS button again. Practice this on training mode so you can get the specific timing. Oxygen's tip is for players on hybrid or tap and hold to ADS setting. To skip the bolt action animation, you'll need to delay when you scope out. Just a teeny tiny bit and you'll be able to fire faster with sniper rifles. Joker gives us sage advice when it comes to movement and aim. Calm the hell down. Sometimes, shaking and pressing too much on the screen while playing can make you whiff. He says that to prevent yourself from shaking, remember that this is the best you can show. Breathing in some oxygen through the nose and exhaling through the mouth can make your heartbeat slower, which might be important for S&D players. One tip I can have for you to have better aim is to avoid swiping too hard on the screen. Pressing too hard can restrict the range of motion in your fingers, so a light touch can give you more freedom to move your fingers around the screen. This will allow you to do crazy flicks and react quickly at all times. Redbot123 gives us a mini tip for a mini map. He reminds you that you can change the size of the area that the mini map sees, or if you look in your settings, your map zoom. If you have a higher map zoom, you'll see the red dots around the edge of your mini map. With a lower map zoom, you'll be able to see exactly where the red dots are positioned in the mini map. This is additional and important information that can help you position yourself to take better gunfights. I personally use 65 map zoom, which I find just enough for me. Obviously, you can go even lower if you never want to tap on your minimap to get a larger view. If you got a shock RC ready to use, Jamal says never use it too early. Why? Whenever you activate your shock RC, it's displayed on the minimap immediately, giving away your position. Jamal advises you to only use them for when you're in a pinch. After finishing a gunfight having low health, that's when you use your shock RC to catch the enemy off guard. Easy two-piece. You can also use the shock RC as a rush buddy for when wanting to break an area. Activate it and go the other way around, so while the enemy is busy avoiding or shooting down the shock RC, you can go on the flank or his blind spot to get the kill. As an ex-competitive player, iJam gives us one simple tip. That is for you to set your opponent's pace and make them uncomfortable. To explain further, a player has a certain expectation of how his enemies will behave in a game. He might expect you to play either fast or slow, but knowing when to play fast and slow can keep your enemies second guessing as to what you're gonna do next. It's kind of like playing mind games with the opponent, but it's easier to do this if you have a team doing this with you. For solo players, it's more important to find your groove and spots in each map where you can play around and be effective to get kills. Chris gives us his tips for rushing. Keep your crosshair up not down because you need strong reaction time if you walk in open areas. Or if you walk in rooms with 2 entrances or more, you have to anticipate enemies from both entrances at all times, having your crosshair ready. If you're using a weapon that has higher recoil than most guns, you might want to point your crosshair around stomach level to account for the vertical recoil if you're having difficulty when it comes to controlling it. Having your crosshair up and ready reduces your reaction time significantly than if you were pointing down on the ground. Ezra also had the same tips for rushing, and he added to what Cress had to give us. Aside from having the best crosshair placement, he also notes that sliding and drop shots are important for rushers to be familiar with. This means having the best settings to place the prone button near your finger for easy access whenever you want to drop shot and finish the gunfight. The same goes for the slide button. I personally have my slide button the biggest and have my prone button just beside it. I slide peek and slide cancel a lot, so it's important for me to not have to reach over to toggle the button. This doesn't apply only on movement buttons because each button is important to be customized based on your phone, fingers, and playstyle so you can perform the best you can. Andrea had seen my get more kills video and she or he had to add another element, which is to wait. For passive players, you can do kill, wait, retreat, and reposition. This allows you to get more information and to possibly secure another kill. And for aggressive players, you can do kill, retreat, wait, then kill or reposition. Waiting for an aggressive playstyle saves you from a potential pinch or backstab. Andrea also says that the maximum engagement you can get away without repositioning is to enemies and avoid having a greedy mindset. A single kill is way better than not getting one. Overall, pretty great tips. I actually enjoyed learning from you guys. Now, I want you guys to give me your best aim tips. Make sure you comment down below so you could get the chance to be featured on next week's video. If you want to learn the rest of the steps to get more kills, click this video right here. Or if you want to learn how to control recoil easily, go ahead and click on this one. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.